Classic Perry. We ran out of time. It's funny, actually, on the staff because we always talk about Dave. Dave sometimes takes some liberty with his time, goes over a little bit, and we've got countdown clocks for him to see. And sometimes he's got really good information he needs to bring us, and then he leaves Perry like 30 seconds to tell everything, and then Perry goes over, and that's what we have. That's what happens. So,
right.
Yeah. All right, well, welcome to our post show. We're glad that you guys are here. We do have more time right now. We're going to talk about everything we kind of just experienced. If you want to jump in our live chat too right now, Layla's here. She can monitor that. We can talk to you and we can answer some questions if you have questions right now. Before we jump into the meat of the service, though, I kind of want to, especially over the next couple of weeks while we are pushing hard for our Imagine More pledge campaign, to answer any questions you guys might have or you guys have heard that other people have about either the building that we're looking to build, what it's going to do, how, like any questions that you guys have, I can help facilitate and answer some of those questions for you. What do you guys have? Or what have you heard? What's the buzz?
The buzz. We were talking about it a little bit before we obviously started today's post show, and it just seems like a lot of money. So I was, I didn't realize online, even though I share the link every Sunday, that you were saying that there's an example of kind of like the breakdowns of what people could donate and how it could add up. Because it just seems unachievable because it just seems like a lot of money.
But $2 million seems almost impossible.
Allowance.
I got it. Hold on.
Okay, you got it. Perfect. Problem solved. Hillary's got it in her pocket. If people go to my3c.org and either on the top navigation bar or just scroll down a little bit, you're going to see where it says Imagine More.
Yeah.
Click on that.
Yep.
That whole page has a ton of information. It's going to give you a little bit of history of connections. It's also going to break down the vision of what's happening. And I thought Dave did a great job of just putting it very plainly for everybody. Guys, we are out of space. Mm-hmm. If we want to continue the mission that God has set us on, we don't have a choice. We have to do something and we have to act. Now, we want to make sure that we're acting, one, in step with God's direction. And there have been people praying about this for years, about the direction of where we need to be going. We also need to be financially responsible. Mm-hmm. So one of the things, and you talked about it, this can feel overwhelming. This can feel unachievable. Mm-hmm. And part of it is seeing the overall plan of how we're attacking it. What's really cool about what we're aggressively doing right now, first off, Connections is doing really well financially. And so we have taken initiatives to pay off all current mortgage debt this calendar year. Awesome. So by the end of this year, we're debt-free, 100%. That allows us the margin to pull up to $1 million into a new mortgage if needed. So the full cost for the project is $2.8 million. We're hoping to raise about $3 million. We always know there's a little bit of buffer we could use, but 2.8 is our target, and we're willing to take up to $1 million in a new mortgage comfortably, and that doesn't change anything that we would currently be doing. So that doesn't change any of our current expenses.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're looking to raise that additional $2 million in pledges and the capital campaign right now. And this is a 3-year commitment we're looking for. So this is where it gets a little bit more achievable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And this is where we start breaking it down. So if you go to our website, you're going to see a couple of different graphs. One is you might be thinking, I'm already strapped. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can give much more. Right. And this is where this hard call for sacrificial giving. Mm-hmm. What can you sacrifice? There's even a chart that could be like, you know what? I splurge and I get myself 2 or 3 coffees a week or whatever, and I'm spending the 10, 15, 20 bucks. What if you sacrificially said, instead of that, I'm going to set that money aside and push it here. And what does that do accumulate over the weeks, the months, the years?
Yeah.
What can that go into?
And Steve, you said it's 3 years, correct?
It's a 3-year total campaign. This is typical in the church world, so we've done a lot of research and a lot of data, understanding what's happening and how these capital campaigns typically take. What they typically say is take your annual budget, your annual spending budget, and you can double or triple it, and that's your maximum cap.
Yep.
Which is how we got to that 2.8. So our annual budget right now is about 900,000. And so we're tripling that, and that's where we're at with that 2.8. So we comfortably can sit in that without feeling like we're taking on something we're going to be overwhelmed with.
Yeah.
Because we all know that we have to be responsible about this, and we have to be we have to work within the means that we can. So we're not going out and trying to get a $10 million loan, because that would be irresponsible.
But if you break it down, like I thought about it, and like $3,600 seems like a lot, but over 3 years, $1,200, it's $100 a month, $25 a week. Like, then that seems like nothing, but it's $3,600 in the grand scheme of things, you know? So it's, I mean, you can give a little and make a huge impact too.
And if it will, like Dave said, it's every drop in the bucket. It's everybody. If everybody does this, we can achieve this really quickly. Yeah. So we're the most optimistic projections. If you're just asking me personally, I see us working this pledge campaign, getting our pledges coming in through 2025. We're paying off debt. We're raising funds. We're starting to make certain orders of steel, whatever, and then hopefully by the end of or sometime in 2026, we're breaking ground. So in 2027, we can be in that building. That would be, if you were to ask anybody on staff, that is what we are praying for. That is what we're projecting. But obviously, we're going to work at the speed of what God reveals and moves through his people.
Yeah.
So we'd encourage everybody, be praying about this. Be praying about how you can be a part of this campaign, because this will radically change. I'm going to say it's going to radically change Southwest Michigan.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Yeah.
How much bigger is the space? Like, how much, like the auditorium, how much space will that add for us?
Yeah. So if you look in your Imagine More, if you're watching online, you can go to our website right now. You can see all these graphics. This shows you a little bit of the scale. So off to the very far right is the side of our current building. But what it's going to do is the auditorium will more than double. So we're looking at over 500 seats in the auditorium. Our current auditorium right now, when we squeeze in as many people as we can, we're about 250. So this will more than double the current space of the auditorium. It will about triple the space of the lobby. The lobby is one of our pinch points. We know that. And then it's going to just expand our children's and student ministry space significantly, because they will acquire this entire current building. So we're very excited about the potential of what this has, and we see that God is doing some amazing things right here, and we just want to be... we want to move at the speed of his Spirit.
So I thought of one more question. Am I allowed?
Yeah, go for it.
So I think often it's easy for us to get so focused on covering things for folks that come to the building. And obviously, we have a lot of online viewers. What are things coming as part of this and the expansion that you think will benefit the online population?
Oh, our online community?
Yep.
It's hard to say what the building expansion itself will do. Here's what it will do is, as we continue to grow, our needs as a church have to continue to stay in step with it. So our staffing is already continuing to grow, and that will continue to grow. And part of that growth is we're investing in people that are working specifically behind the scenes in our technology and some of those areas. We're gonna see an increased desire to just see the gospel spread. And the online platforms is definitely one way that we don't want to neglect.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna continue to see just more inspiration and dreaming of what it could look like. It's why I love this post show. I don't know of any other church that does this.
Yeah.
What else can we do?
Right.
And so we're going to continue that dream and continue to push. So we're excited about it.
Yeah.
Very excited. I didn't know we were going to talk this long about this. I actually love this. I think this is great because I know a lot of people have questions. And if you have questions about our building campaign specifically, and you're like, I really, really need this answered before I can commit or pledge anything, please reach out to us. You can just go to our website, my3c.org, and then fill out one of our connect cards. Just hit connect, and there's going to be something in there for you to fill out, and that way we know specifically who is asking it. We can get back in touch with you. All right, real quick, just for a minute or two, we have a couple minutes before our next service starts. What were your initial thoughts about our sermon today, of what Dave is bringing? Because today was all about sweat. It's in the blood, sweat, and tears sermon series. Today was about sweat. What were your initial impressions?
I think that it hit me a little bit because I have an office job where I sit at a desk all day. So how do I sweat at work? Like, I'm not going to get a little treadmill under my desk. But I think that pouring into people can be work too. Like, my job includes, like, in life and in my work environment, just being like involved with people and doing that to the best of your ability too. Absolutely. And just making sure that you are coming in with a positive attitude and just like loving life. And sometimes that's work, you know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Can you tell everybody, because not everybody's going to know, but can you tell us what you do?
Yeah.
What is your job?
I'm the lead OB sonographer for the OB practices at Bronson. And so I lead a staff of, I think there's 18 of us. And I am in charge of just making sure that things go smoothly during the day, that my staff is well taken care of, and that they have everything that they can to accomplish their jobs. And then I'm also in charge of like problem solving. So when we have a patient that's upset, like I'm the one that enters the room. So I have to have that people skill, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'll be patient upset. That would never happen.
right?
Well, and I hope we don't I hope we don't confuse this idea of working hard and sweat as just physical labor, right? Yeah. So what you do, there's a lot of mental strength that is required. And yeah, dealing with people can be one of the hardest things that we have to deal with.
Learning that.
Yeah, I think another aspect of this, which is really important, has to do with this idea of hard work. I don't think just exclusively pertains to being something that you do at your physical job. It is not just something where you go out and work hard and do that. You're also called, I believe, to work hard at other aspects, including your relationship with God, including your relationship with other people, being able to help maintain those, being able to help grow those. I think it is just a mindset of how you're supposed to go out and live life, is to do it to the best of your possible ability each and every single day. I think that is something that I think was thrown in there a little bit in all areas that you can do, but can often be confused as I just have to do a good job at my actual work and kind of neglect some of the other areas which you should be working hard at those as well.
Sure.
Like I can't come home and be a crabby butt to my family. That's
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
I am.
But you probably shouldn't, right? Yeah.
I really liked today's message, and this is something that I definitely feel like I can probably work a little too hard. I have very high responsibility and lots of interesting qualities.
Tell us for everybody who doesn't know, what do you do?
I'm a nerd. I do sit at a computer all day.
Is that a specific job title?
Yes.
Nerd.
I work on a global HR systems team at Stryker, and I'm in an architect position. That sounds pretty nerdy, but I get to do all sorts of things, but help maintain some of our primary HR systems, and it's a lot because there's a lot of people that work at Stryker, and one of the systems is just like paying them. No big deal, right? But it's I love it, and I am a firm believer of the work that I've done over the many years at Stryker has continued to open up opportunities, and I hope too that I've influenced a lot of people that I've crossed paths with. And I absolutely love it. But one of the things that I wanted to mention is that throughout the message today, I was thinking a lot about my kids because I've been really trying to, Tony and I, my husband and I, talk about like working hard in school and in sports. And they're just at an age where it's like, like in one ear, out the other. So I wanted to just bring up the question too of like, I think we immediately think about our occupations as adults, but how does this resonate with our younger population of, kids? And I think that with all the generations constantly changing, like hard work meant something different to Tony and I than this generation. And sometimes I have a hard time, like trying to level set, right? So
it is a challenge. Actually, I think it comes back to what Hilary said when you said, come home and just be a crabby butt to your family. Honestly, because I've seen it and I've been a part of it. You can go to your 9 to 5 and you can work really hard. You can put all the blood, sweat, and tears into it. But if you come home and you're not the example of that to your family, if you're not instilling that, if you're not teaching them, if you're not requiring them to do things around the house, like it's about getting the skin in the game. And I think for a lot of what Dave talked about this morning, it was all about putting your skin in the game and getting that, just making that a part of who you are.
And there's so many great things that come out of it.
That is. All right. Well, we are out of time for this morning because we got another service we got to start. Eventually, when we get to a point where we are in a new place and we have 2 services, we can actually take some extra time and slow down and really dissect this. But if you had an amazing morning experiencing this with us, we'd love to hear about it. We'd love to for you to just comment below and be a part of the conversation that is happening right here at Connections. And we're so glad that you have joined us, and we will see you next time.